Good afternoon, Jungle Bob here. Today we're going to be working on this. I know I did a part one on the Toro transmission on the commercial recycler. It's the Toro lawnmower number is a model number 22187, and the transmission model is 74-1861. Now, you saw me take it apart, or you didn't see me take it all the way apart, but you saw me clean it a little bit. But now we're ready to reassemble. Had some parts come in, finally got the rest of them in. So let's go. I'll just go over some stuff. Okay, I've got everything kind of laid out here, ready to go. I've taken the liberty of, just for sake of video time, I guess the first thing, everything's been cleaned. I cleaned them in gasoline first, and then
This is really going to be interesting because everybody.
then I soaked them in my parts cleaner bucket,
Completely clueless in regards to who this
and then I ran the gears through the ultrasonic.
is very well known, who covers the conference for.
And then I had to take me some fine grit sandpaper. There was some rust buildup, like it made little nodules on the gears. Had to knock that off because those gears, they kind of rub up against each other. So it sat up so long, there was so much water in there. Anyway, let's get to it. So, like I said, I've already lightly greased the gears on front and back side. In case you guys don't know about what I'm talking about, I'm using Lucas Oil red and tacky grease. Some say use white lithium, this, that, and the other. Toro calls for a 00 grease. I find this red and tacky is just fine. It'll be okay. Anyway, so you get the idea. So now we're going to start reassembling this. First, we'll start with the lower shaft, the lower drive gear. So it's all greased up, Now you got an Allen keyway on here. So we're going to start with the biggest gear first, and we're going to slide it on. Boom. Then the next gear. Boom. And then the smallest gear. And there we go. Alright, now they're all locked in place. And then there's this washer. Put a little grease on it as well. Alright. 2 washers on this end. Okay. So that's back together. Okay, then on this main drive axle here, kind of the same thing, except for it's got some, see how that slides? This is what moves your gears. Okay, now this thing here, you get the idea. Okay. So, on this one, it starts with the smallest gear first. We'll try to get this on here. First off, we have to get this on. There's no washer, but you have to line it up. Once you get to right here, what I'm talking about, these pins right here have to fit into the grooves on there. Anyway, so I'm going to do this like this. It's messy, guys, so if you don't like grease, this isn't for you.
Joins us on the Ultra Organic Seltzer Hotline, Dr. Payton. Hope you're doing well. Wants to get into
Okay, I'm gonna pause you for just 1 second. I gotta answer my phone. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're back. So we got this first one on. Okay, then we have a washer. It goes over, and you have to depress these pins with your hands to get these washers over. Make sure you got it on there. And we don't. We do now. All right. So now you take your hands and push this back up so you get your things, and then the next gear will go on. Slide it over, line it up, boom, right over. Now there's 2 washers that go next. I don't know why. I'm just going by the parts diagram. So we'll do one at a time. Like I said, it's kind of messy, and then you gotta kind of have to work with it a little bit. I like to try to just push with my fingers here. Once you get it though, you'll know. Alright. Now you kind of have to hold, to get this third washer and gear on it, it's kind of, it gets tight right in here. Alright. And be sure you have clean hands, even though you're getting greasy, because you don't want to get any more dirt on here than you need to. So we got one more gear to get on here, and it's going to be a booger. But it will go. Now these gears, I believe these start is 38 teeth on this, 38 tooth on this small one, 42, and then this one's a 46. And these gears, man, they're this biggest one here is $58, and the cheapest one is about 38. So, now this last one, like I said, it's hard to get on there, but you'll know when you got it. So, let me wipe my hands off just a little bit. This is the top side of the case if it was on the lawnmower. So this shifts your gears, right? And this is where your pulley goes. All right, so this yoke right here, this is the yoke, and notice it's got 2 little tangs on both sides, and that's going to fit into this groove right here. So what happens is it slides the gears forward and backwards. So we're going to try to get that in there lined up just right. It's a little tricky. Kind of lay it in there. Okay. All right. I think maybe we got it. So, like we did on our previous videos, if you that should be in 3rd gear, so all of them are spinning. Now, I don't have the bearings on yet, but this should be neutral. And something's wrong here. Oh, there we go. I haven't got this 3rd gear on, so we're going to have to take it back apart. And I'm going to pause you for just a second so I get that straight. Okay, guys, so I think we got this sorted out. Now we got all three gears on here moving. We got our washers on. Uh, the parts that we had to replace on this thing, let's see here. First off, we'll deal with the bearings up here. And they are called bearing cage needles. Your part number is 117-3500. Right. So they slide on next. Put a little grease on the axle here. Get a little inside there. So you got one on this side. And you have another one on the other side. Grease that up a little bit. Make sure they move freely. So pre-grease them. Then we had to get seals. There's seals that go in behind those. We're going to go ahead and slide them on the shaft here. The part number on that was 47-630. These are all Toro part numbers. And there's two edges to them. There's a little spring on here, so the spring part goes to the inside. And you may need to just go ahead and put your little lube on the whole shaft here to make it easier. Not too much, but it will make it easier to go on. Be careful with it.
The NFL schedule was officially released at 8 p.m. Eastern last night, but there were some leaks before that. Give the NFL credit, though. They have managed to turn an announcement of dates into an event, and a very good one at that. Of course, you have the defending Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Bucks, opening up the season, and they will do so by punching Dallas.
Might do good by heating these up a little bit, but I wouldn't do it too much.
Cleveland Browns. And what do we have here? A Week 1 matchup. Cleveland at KC. In other words, the AFC Championship game preview in Week 1. Yes, I said it. That is genius scheduling. The Browns season ended in KC last year.
It's a little tight.
They get to go back and start it there this year. Good job by all involved. I'm Jim Rowe.
Well, hold on. I got another phone call. I keep getting interrupted. Hold on. Okay, so what I did is I just took me a little socket that'll fit over it, and you kind of just lightly tap it till it wants to go, and then it'll just slide on. All right. So we're good with seal on that side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Spring to the inside. A little grease to help it get on there good. Sometimes it's a good sign though if it's tight, because you're getting a new seal. The other ones would you could slide them on and off freely. So once you get it started, it's fine. Want to go even with it. All right. Go ahead and grease those up good. So now we've got those. And these bearings, those seals are $8.13 a piece, so you want to be cool with them. And these bearings on the top side here are relatively cheap. They were like $5 or $6 a piece. The bearings on the bottom, though, however, were $17 a piece. So, all right, we're going to try this again now. Putting this in here. I'm going to kind of just feed it in. Make sure I'm in on the bottom side and the top side.
It does not feel like a home run. It doesn't feel like a guy that's just slam dunk trying to be uber successful. Now there are aspects of his background that you can see.
Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull these bearings and seals back off for just a little bit.
That might be good.
just back them out a little bit so I have more working space.
Now, Larry Scott caught a lot of heat for what he did, and Pac-12 went out and hired somebody with a very similar background to what he had when he came into the job. I think that's where the concern comes from here. Is
Oh, and this washer,
kind of thought he could do it his way.
kind of got to just fit it in there just right, or it ain't gonna work.
Unlimited budget, and bringing in a guy that's worked for a resort in Las Vegas, that's one thing that I would be concerned about as well, because there are a lot of times maybe is an endless supply of cash.
I'm gonna spin it back out again because obviously we're having difficulties.
With Pac-12, that's one of the things that's gotten Larry in trouble. Yeah, absolutely. Some of the other headlines, I don't know if you guys saw this, but announced earlier.
All right, one more try.
A guy we're very familiar with.
I'm getting aggravated now. But that's the thing you can't do is get aggravated.
2026 and 2027 season, and we just got through talking about it with the transfer portal alive and well cold.
Okay. All right, we got the washer in. Everything's cool. Now you want to lift up and get this. Lift up and slide the bearing on in, and bring your seal on up. Make sure that's in there good, all the way around. Same thing on the other side. Get that bearing. Slide that seal down. All right, that's it. Now we got all the gears moving with the bearing on there. Cool. And you can shift. That's your shifter. So that's neutral. So the whole axle spins no matter what's going on. First turns everything, but second and third do not. Let's go all the way to third. So turn this third one. All right, I'm going to pause you again so I can wipe the grease off. Okay, let's move on to the bottom side. Okay, we got this locked in good. Everything's moving fine like it should. Third turns the whole thing. All right, so now we got to get this one in here. Okay, it lays in just like this. They have to mesh up just right though. Okay, so there we go. That's in there, but what I was going to show you is these are what are called end cap bearings. So we had seals up here that went behind the bearings. On this bottom side, there are no seals because it's an end cap bearing. Right, so we're going to, and it comes pre-greased, by the way. So you just squish it on there, and it's going to, it looks like they put white lithium grease. Same thing on the other side. All right. Now we'll put it back in there. So, want to get those in there. And so when you turn your pulley here, on the bottom it should, everything should mesh up really good. All right. Now, we're getting closer, guys. And those end cap bearings were 117 3500. All right. So now we can think about putting the bottom. Now I've already filled this up with grease. There's you don't really need a lot of grease in here. You don't want it too much. This stuff will, get crazy. I'm gonna go ahead. What I'm gonna do is So I'm going to put a little bit on these gears here. Just coat them up really good. And go with what's in the gearbox. We can always go back and add more. There's a Zerk fitting on the top side. Just get everything good and lubricated.
I don't know how much of that would grab the audience or maybe
All
that
right.
share of the market that Roger Goodell trying to expand there in Europe, how much that would do. But we would certainly watch.
I mean, theoretically, this is supposed to be watertight, so. All right.
The frozen toucher.
And just for good measure, we'll put another glop in here. And you really want to kind of get where you see the gears are going to be going around. So this cap goes on like this. So right in here, in there. This is going to be good enough. There's no gasket on these. So now we're going to try to get this slot into this tab right there. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit, get it straight, and we're going to put this cover on, hopefully.
Once it gets really hot, though, you're on a glacier and it just starts melting. We start losing gas. I don't think if you were going to build a stadium,
Good. Now, nice and tight seal all the way around. A lot closer. Now we can just start putting our bolts in, our nuts in. Right, there's 6 of them. All right. There's no way of getting around not getting dirty on this. You can wear gloves if you wanted to, but anyway, these are 10 millimeters. I'm going to snug them all down and then we'll go in a cross pattern. And then after we get them tight, we want to make sure everything's spinning freely before we go ahead and move on.
One of the dilapidated Olympic stadiums that they used. Yeah. Let's take football back to Cuba. We used to have the Havana Bowl, the Party Bowl. Let's take it back. Not a bad idea. Extend the olive branch. All right, question number 2. We heard Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, earlier today mention that Jacksonville could be a surprise team in the AFC.
Boy, I don't know if you guys saw that video yesterday. My leg's still sore. That was crazy.
I was really surprised to hear Mike say that, and I do understand some of their bad fortune last year. And I think the over/under on yards passing for Trevor Lawrence is around 4,200.
All right, we got everything snug now. So let's see if we can shift our gears good. First, second, third.
He's probably exceeded what I thought he was going to be coming out of LSU, maybe ATN.
But this is the top side, so that's neutral. Oh.
I just don't see it. I think the defense can be pretty good. Hell, they drafted there enough the last few years that they should be able to find a way to get some stops. But I just don't look down that. I don't look down that roster.
Well, we got a problem.
Schedule and say,
See what that problem might be.
to the extent that they're going to have a winning record. They do guys that make the jump. Oh yeah. And how many guys have made the jump from college?
So we're back on this transmission. So my problem was, the reason it wasn't shifting right is because this roll pin, right there, I didn't have that back in the lever here. And what that does is it keeps the yoke up higher. The yoke was falling back down. So anyway, as you can see now, neutral, first, second, third. Okay, so, and I put the pulley back on, so this is neutral. Everything spins fine. So when you're pulling your lawnmower or pushing it backwards or pulling it backwards when it's in neutral, it'll be able to spin this pulley freely. So if you go to first gear, let's just go all the way to third. So third, I'm going to turn this pulley. I don't know if you can see that. Turn it this way. The shaft is moving around. Let me see if I can get you a better picture. It might look better if you can look at it like that. So I'm turning it, and you can see the shaft moving. Go back one, that's second gear. That's first gear. That's neutral. No spin. All right. So we got that back together. So the next thing that would go on here is this bracket, which is your belt guide. So if this was on the lawnmower, this kind of sits on here like that. I'm not going to put it on yet until I put it back on the lawnmower. But that was a good project we got done today. Getting that all back together. It was kind of a booger. Now, we still got all the, when we put it back on there, but to get it back on the lawnmower, I have to leave all the, the gears off and the assembly that holds on the wheel adjusters and all that. So maybe I'll do a video on that. Probably just do one once I get it all back installed on the lawnmower, showing it working with the lawnmower. At least that's my plans anyway. But thanks for following along with me today. So this is like a very expensive transmission, and we've rebuilt it. Hope my customer's going to be happy with it. So thanks for watching. Got a little bit more to add to this video. Kind of going to do a mail call here in a little bit. So hang tight, Jungle Bob out.